This game is addictive, and I mean really, really addictive, like crazy addictive. It's like more addictive than Icecream, it's more addictive than kittens, and it's certainly more addictive than crack cocaine. If you insist on playing this game, I warn you now, you're going to suffer. From all your friends to your loved ones, and most importantly, your sanity will suffer. You have been warned. This is Kerbal Space Programme, and let's have a quick look at it. Why should you play Kerbal Space Programme? Well, this is why. It is a sandbox game where you basically have to, well, you have a whole range of rocketry, space planes, and other such jiggery-pokery, and they're basically going to get the complete license to go into space, do anything, and you can build rockets, you can build space stations, you can land on other planets, you can land on the moon, you can build bases on the moon. There is really, the limitation of this game is your own mind, and that's why I love it. It's a fantastic game. So, let's have a look at the basics. At its heart, Kerbal Space Programme, it's an alpha apparently, it's still in alpha. You can buy it on Steam now, and I think it's one of those games where if you buy it, you'll get your money's worth, because I've played hundreds of hours of this already. The concept is you have a space program. Here you have a space plane hangar, rocketry hangar, tracking station, runway, landing pad, and you have to basically build rockets. Now, there's no necessarily any mission. The missions are determined by you. And the purpose of the game is to have an effective space program. So what you see here, this is actually my very first attempt at a rocket, and the intent of this rocket is to get into orbit. That's it, simple as that. There's a full day-night night cycle as well, and it's just an incredibly refreshing game, because certainly when you first start playing it, your immediate reaction is WTF. But after a while, you then realize, hang on, does that mean that I could maybe put like 2 modules together, and I could maybe build 20 spaceships that all fit together and then become an international space station that I could maybe dock at? Then maybe I could get rocketry up there and start building a rocket in space, and then that rocket could go to another planet, maybe land on that planet, maybe drop a base on that planet with little rovers that I can get in and drive around in a little buggy, go wee 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 wee. Yes. Simple as that, yes. This game, I think, is as open and as, I guess, free as Minecraft was, and I'm, calling it now. This could well be the next Minecraft. It's an incredibly popular game already. Hopefully, if you're looking at this video now, if you look to the right, you'll probably see hundreds of other Kerbal videos as well. I think it's an incredibly open, free, kind of creative game, exactly like Minecraft is. So yeah, calling it now, I think it's going to be an immense success. Anyway, so let's have a look at what we're doing here. This is literally, almost Spaceflight 101, putting something into orbit. Now, what will happen is, as you just saw there, you'll put something in orbit, then you'll realize, damn, I forgot thrusters, I forgot stability, maybe I don't have enough fuel, whatever it may be. And hopefully you can see the license to build is wonderful. I've sped this up, but really, the limitation of what you can build is pretty much your own mind. And some of the stuff I've come up with are just, it's incredible, really, the license you've got. And this is, again, one of the key things to mention about this game, is it fully supports mods. And I mean fully. So there are people out there who've written mods in every single thing. You could have thousands of spaceship parts, thousands of engines, and so on. So, the limitation of this game is almost non-existent, because there's a huge kind of, base of modders out there building really good mods for it. So here we go, change my design a bit more. Now, the idea is that you, to be honest, one of the first things you'll learn in the game is that the hardest thing to do is to get into orbit. Once you've done that, everything from that point forward is actually quite easy. Because obviously the pull of Kerbal, which is the planet that I'm on, the pull of Kerbal is so significant that it takes a huge amount of effort to actually break away from the gravity of this planet. So, yeah, as you can see, we're using boosters and stages, and then we've got stage 2 engine that then kicks in. And really, it's all about just generally understanding the detail behind such a space program. So you have to understand, again, there are mods you can use to help you with a lot of this. So, I mean, here we go. We've just accelerated so fast into space, we're actually burning through the atmosphere. So, but then that's a good sign, because if you look at the top, you can see we're leaving the atmosphere now. We're going from the original kind of light blue, low level atmosphere all the way into space. which is good. And to be honest, it's fascinating. I mean, again, I'm a kind of a bit of a techie myself, and I'm just blown away by the physics in this game. So, you know, the ability to get into space is limited to, if you have a rocket that's too heavy, then it won't really go that far. If you've got something that's you know, too light, or if you've got, you know, the weight really does matter, because, you know, you have a limited amount of fuel. So you have to kind of balance, and you can't just say sticking a load of fuel tanks on it, because you may not get into orbit. So what you see here, this is actually part of the game. So it's not just about obviously flying a ship, it's also about building an orbit. Again, I love the fact that it is rooted in real science, because I mean, most people, I guess, realize obviously that things, when you orbit a planet, you're just in constant freefall. So what we're trying to do here is, the blue line represents my orbit, and I'm actually trying to swing the ship round so that I can actually have an orbit that doesn't crash me back into the planet. So you actually have to thrust, so you have to get to a particular, the aposis, and then you have to actually turn, maybe, you know, there we go. So you can see here, I almost made it to a full circular orbit, but I don't, and I've run out of fuel. Now this is, again, with experience. Again, I would stress, when you buy this game, the first 2 or 3 days probably, you're just going to be learning how to do stuff like orbiting and stuff, but it is incredible fun. So here we go. This is our poor little Kerbal pilot in the bottom right. They didn't quite make orbit, and we're just going to crash land on one of the polar caps. And again, I love the fact that this is just one planet. There's 7 planets in the solar system, and there's 2 moons. There's lots of stuff to go and visit. And you can basically, you know, there's no limitation. If you can build something to get there, you can get there. And I'll show you this as we go through these videos, because I've got, recently I've just landed on the moon, or the mun as they call it, and I've actually started to build my own little moon base, and it's just exceptional fun. So here we go, we're coming back through the atmosphere now, so we're air braking. Obviously a lot of the effect of the atmosphere is slowing the ship down, and the idea is that you stage. Now you don't have to, you can just fire your Kerbals into space and laugh maniacally as they drift into the sun, but what I try and do is build a mechanism by which they can come back. Now that was a bad idea. As you can see there, I've just got a single parachute that just overloaded and exploded, and then our poor little Kerbal crashes into the ice. Boom. Rest in peace, little Kerbal dude. And that's it. That's really the basics of the game. Now I would stress, it looks shit when you first see it. It is probably and again, it is the most addictive game I think I've ever played, next to Minecraft. So there we go. We'll bring you a lot more of these. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.